Hello, everyone. You saw me coughing a little bit. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it is another Friday. It is the first Friday of August, and the time is just going by so quickly. It's going to be the end of the year soon. I'm your, oh gosh, I've been doing all these live streams all week. Hey there, I'm Felicia Jones, the lead researcher and founder of iFind You Closed. This is our Friday office hours for our iFind You Closed members and for a few select guests who've decided to join us. If you're watching us in the Eventbrite platform, thank you so very much. If you want to get questions answered, if you have questions, you have comments, all you have to do is click that button that says boop, 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 watch over here on YouTube. If you are watching inside of our platform, the same thing. If you want to interact with us, all you got to do is click the button to take you out to the YouTube channel. Now, what we're going to talk about today is the speaking industry outlook. I have a few notes for you on things to kind of just pay attention to. And really, it is just paying attention to what's going on with live events. They're calling them IRL now, in real life. IRL, in real life events. So we got to pay attention to those. And because it is August, and I have been making my predictions. I've been making my predictions that things are going to ramp up with opportunities for getting on stage, and you need to be prepared. So what we're going to also do this month is just have a checklist. Every office hours, we're going to talk about a checklist of things that you need to work on. You don't have to work on them all at the same time, but I just want to make sure you have everything in order in place. And if you have questions around that, just let me know. Today, we're going to talk about testimonials. We're going to talk about why you need them, how you need to go get them, and where you need to start using them. But we need to talk about testimonials because that's going to be the very first priority on your checklist as we go through. Now, I will say I am not a good host. I did not pay attention to whether or not we have any questions for the week. So I am going to fumble my way around and go see what is going on there. But, it's been a very it's been a week, hasn't it? It's been a very interesting week. I've been watching the Olympics. The Olympics are just pretty amazing. Kind of sad at the same time because there's no audience, and that's kind of how it is speaking on a stage with no audience. It's just kind of sad. So what so I've been watching the Olympics and they've been doing some pretty amazing things. And as I get myself situated, even though I was not situated a long time ago, I'm getting myself situated right now. Like I said, if you are watching inside of our platform, and have any questions, just pop on over here to YouTube and I will answer questions for you. And I'm going to go see if we have any questions from our beautiful, beautiful people. No, we don't have any questions. So that's okay. If you have any questions, just remember you can always fill out our form. If I see it soon enough, I will answer it here. Otherwise, you can just ask your question live. All right, so let's go first with the thing that you need to do when it comes to the checklist. Remember, my prediction is by September, it's going to go really fast with the abundance of events. We are starting to see in real life events come back, live events come back. We're starting to see virtual events come back again. If you have not been paying attention to what's going on in the world of COVID and Delta Plus, Lambda, it's almost lambda, and omega mu. I mean, that shows my age if you know where that comes from. But this is what we're dealing with right now. We're starting to see an uptick in COVID, Delta variant COVID cases, and it's starting to get people to rethink how they're doing things, which is so interesting because we were moving in a really good pace, and then things just kind of. So don't be surprised if you just happen to see a few more virtual events pop up. If you see more events try to do more of a hybrid, we are still, as much as I wanted us to get back to a place of, I don't want to say normalcy. I don't think we'll ever be normal to what we were used to in 2019. But I think I was hoping we would get to a place of calm so that we can start rebuilding. And at this moment, things are shaking up again. So I have to always remind myself and remind my other speakers is that we're still operating in a very strange time. I mean, I hate to say it that way. And you're going to have to always just be flexible. That's what we're probably going to have to deal with for probably a while now. And I know a lot of us don't want to hear it, but we still need to just be very, very flexible because some events are Some events are starting to have a few issues that decided to go live in the fall. And like I said, don't be surprised if you see more virtual events pop up, if you see more hybrid events pop up. So you as a speaker, you just need to, one, be flexible with what's going on, and two, you need to be able to market yourself for any of these situations, for pre-recorded video, be ready for virtual live, and be ready for live on stage. I think the time where we get to choose what we wanted to do, I honestly think that time is over. And right now, you're going to have to be a flexible and effective and efficient speaker, meaning you're gonna have to be able to cover all the bases. I'm going to tell you a random story that doesn't mean anything to you, but I think it's the best parallel I have at the moment that I could think of. So when I was in high school, I was a baton twirler, and I was able to get a college scholarship to go off to college as a dancer baton twirler. Now, I was never trained or anything like that. I just happened to be pretty darn good and very convincing to get that. But I was able to get a band scholarship, and I also had a dance scholarship, academic scholarship at the same time. That was really the bulk of the money for my school, was my academic scholarship. Later on, my senior year, I actually joined a baton twirling club. And I was actually one of the teachers for the younger kids, and I got trained so I can go compete in baton twirling from my coach. And we were just sitting down and having dinner one day, and her thought process is you need to be a multi-threat. And I mean, being a multi-threat coming out of high school is she wanted you to be able to do as many things as possible in order to get money to go to college. So if you were a dancer, she wanted you to know how to do baton twirling, and she wanted you to know how to do cheerleading, because she said if one of those didn't work out, you can always have two others that you can excel in. And that was always her pride, sending baton twirlers off to college in either of these sports, dance, baton, or cheerleading. And just when it comes to the creative side, and it always just stuck with me. You got to be a multi-threat. And I spoke with her some years, maybe by the time I graduated and had my first job. I called her back, and she wasn't very happy with what was going on with parents and all that kind of stuff, because parents really wanted their kids to just do competitive cheerleading. And she said it was so hard to convince them that your kid needs to be able to do all of these things just in case something goes wrong with the one thing that they absolutely love. Now, of course, that's not saying that you shouldn't focus. You should niche down or niche down, depending on where you are. But I do think now we have gone from this, I only speak in person, I only do this, to I do think we're going to have to be flexible and become multiple threats. When it comes to getting on stages, and we got to be able to deliver in all formats, and that's just my prediction for the future. That's my story. That's all I got for you. So hopefully it made a little bit of sense. But I do think we are, for us as speakers, I think we need to be ready for all of these different things. And with that, I do need to tell you what you need to work on when it comes to the checklist. But since we're talking about that, I wanted to kind of segue into this little article that I found about, and of course I lost it because that's just what I do, about the future of live events. And there's this thing that's starting to happen. Hybrid events are going to be, is going to definitely be a thing of the next year, with countries that are still having restrictions of people flying in. And I don't know if you've been paying attention now, the United States is thinking about making all travelers into the country vaccinate. We're starting to see other places in Europe putting up these, walls saying you got to be vaccinated to enter the country. And not even a negative test anymore. So it's getting very interesting how they're dealing with this. We're starting to see some events that are requiring vaccinations. So don't be surprised when you see all of this, but this also means a lot of events will probably lower their overhead and stick with the hybrid model. So what you're probably going to see over the next year is those mega events those big mega events, they're going to start breaking off and going more regional. So if you were ever part of an event that was, 300,000, 116,000, the big conferences, they're going to start going more regional. And so now they're going to have multiples in different places, because now if we're going to still have these restrictions, we still want to have an international audience. But, if we have flight issues and stuff like that, we don't want people to get stuck. And if over the last week, we've had people, I guess, had issues flying in domestically in the United States. So what that means as a speaker is that there is a chance that you will be able to get on more stages with one event. That's pretty darn cool. You put all of your efforts to this one event, and you can be able to get on multiple stages. So just something to think about if you're trying to market your business in a big way and go for big credibility on some of those bigger stages. Now for local events, not much has changed for local. Local is pretty much operating as is. Local chamber meetings, local networking meetings, they're all going to be the same. So it really comes down to where you're trying to make a splash with building your brand and getting your name out there. So I wanted to tell you about that. Some of the big events are probably going to go more regional. So just something to think about. The next thing that you're probably going to see is a lot of virtual studios for conferences pop up, meaning you'll still be a part of a conference, but you'll just go to their studio, do your thing, and it's going to be broadcast wherever they're going to broadcast it to. That also means this is a good time for you to create your own virtual studio at your home, making sure that you have good sound, good lighting, good camera work, things like that. So you want to pay attention to that. And we've talked about this thing of 365 engagement, meaning they want people to engage way before the event. So you might have some opportunities to be a part of a pre-event, pre-workshop. That's one of the things I want to tell you is that, there are options to do workshops before an event. You're going to have to go pitch it as some training. You have more pay opportunities when it comes to pitching a workshop pre or post conference or event. So just something to think about in that world. And yeah, I think that's about it for right now. But the biggest thing is just be flexible. Just be flexible. Now, as far as the checklist of things that you need to start working on, with this abundance of opportunities that I predict will start happening coming next month, basically at this point you probably will, if you're trying not to just stay local, you're going to be looking into 2022. And come September, this is when you're going to have to start booking your 2022 gigs, especially your early late winter and early spring gigs. You're going to be working on those in September, and I really do want you to be prepared so that you're not trying to figure it out as you go. So here's the first thing that I need you to work on, and we're going to do this every week for this month, is you need to work on your testimonials, okay? Testimonials. You need to go gather old testimonials. We've all been at home over the last 18 months doing most of our work. You need to go get client testimonials, event testimonials from events, from the person who booked you or from someone who watched you at that event. You need to go get written testimonials, and you need to get video testimonials. Do whatever you need to do to incentivize people to give you these testimonials. You don't have to incentivize like I'll give you money. I mean, if it's like I'll give you a chapter of my book or something like that, just for getting you testimonials. Send your testimonials to LinkedIn, to Facebook, wherever it is easy for them to give you one. Make sure they just give you one. Choose your platform, because you can copy and paste it onto your website and use it at any place. But from this point on, you need to work on your testimonials for the next week. If you've asked people for testimonials and they've kind of like, oh, I got other things to do, here's what you do. See if you could schedule a video session with them and just say, hey, I would love to do this. It's going to take like less than 5 minutes for us to get on, just to get your thoughts. Do it that way. The next thing you can do for written testimonial is to pre-write the testimonial for them. Give them an example or pre-write it. Whatever works for you. You could say, hey, I really would like a testimonial, and just letting you know, here's an example. If you kind of get at a loss for words, you may be surprised that they like the example, and they'll just say, hey, this is actually good. or and they said just go ahead and use it. But the thing is, you need to get testimonials. You're going to have to be very assertive to get them. You can't say, oh, I'll just get it from you later. No, you need to make this part of your process when it comes to testimonials. And I'm just letting you know also, we're working on some fall workshops, and this is actually going to be one of the workshops for the fall. Is all the systems and processes you need, and I'm going to break down every last stinking process you need. And this is a process that you need, and that is gathering testimonials. These are going to be so important to you. They help establish your credibility, and they give like little marks just to say that you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about. So over the next week, this is your assignment. Go get your testimonials. Period. I don't care if you're brand new to this. It doesn't matter. Get them from your mom. Get them from your cousin. Get them from people that have worked with you, people who said they loved you, your besties, because you're going to keep improving on your testimonials. You just need to start getting them, because at the end of this, we're going to build, your speaker kits. We're going to build your speaker one sheets, and just to give you just to let you know that there will be a course popping up on building your speaker one sheet. So give it some time. It's going to be there soon, but you need the testimonials. We can't build any of this stuff if you don't have credible testimonials. Okay, if you are brand new and you don't have any testimonials, that is okay. But like I said, go get them from the friends who have worked with you, from your bosses, your coworkers, whatever you need to do. We just need to start putting some onto, just have them in your file so that we can use them for other places. So that's your checklist work for this week. So get your testimonials. Also pay attention to what's going on with events and the structure of events. And I think that's it. That's it. Just to give you an update, we're still doing our summer speaker workshop series. Tuesday, if you have not registered, go to ifindyoukclothes.com, click on workshops. You'll find the registration buttons in there. But Tuesday, we're going to talk about how to land MC gigs, and that is going beyond the keynote stage. So if you're looking for other things to do on stage, we're going to talk about that. I'm bringing in two of my friends, Mr. Vernon Ross and Paul Ince, and we're going to talk about our experiences landing speaking gigs. MC gigs, what it actually is like being an MC, and why it is so very different than being a keynote speaker, and you're gonna have to market yourself differently. So those are a couple of things that we're gonna talk about. So this event is free for members, so make sure you go and register. You will get access to the replay if you register. If not, you're gonna have to wait a couple of weeks until we get it up and going for you to see it. But go ahead and register for that. Members is free. Non-members, it is $10. If you are watching this and you're a non-member, think about going ahead and upgrading to iFind You Clothes. You'll get access to all of the speaking opportunities, plus all of these workshops that I'm talking about, and some courses that are coming up as well. Whew. All right, y'all. It's a beautiful Friday. It's so dark in here. I keep forgetting. It feels like it's like nighttime, but it's like sunny today. So, make sure you sign up for the Tuesday event. And then on Wednesday, we're going to talk about finances and contracts. So, I'm sorry, Tuesday and then Thursday. So we have 2 workshops next week. And I hope that you can be a part of them. And then our final one will be TEDx, getting on the TEDx stage. Woo, that's going to be a good one. So you have an amazing Friday. Take care of yourself. Of course, if you have any questions around anything, all you have to do is let me know. And otherwise, I will see you next Friday. Bye.